If you have watched some of my latest videos, you may think that whiskey is having a bit of a tough time lately, but that doesn't stop so many awesome bottles being released, with some being new to the shelves and others I've been watching for a long time. A topic voted for by my awesome bottle slappers on Patreon. We are talking about the bottles you should have your eyes on, or the ones that are sitting waiting for me in my basket. So join me, Jeff Whiskey, the bottle slapper in the shirt and shades, and with that, let's crack on.
Jeff Whiskey.
I'm sure I'm not the only one who has a wish list with all the bottles we want to try, and when you're as tight as me, sometimes it can take a lot of convincing to spend the money and make that purchase. Though I think the amount of bottles behind me says otherwise. But today we're talking about my 10 wishlist bottles, and let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, or if you have other whiskey whales you're hunting. Starting at number 1 on my hit list, one that I think may surprise you all, and that is Glencadam 10. This is a bottle I've eyed up for a very long time, maybe before I even started this channel and was just some cool kid who posted rubbish bottle photos on Instagram.
What a loser.
Often at sub 40 quid here in the UK and readily available. It is a well loved whiskey in whiskey circles, and really there's no excuse for me not getting one, but instead of that stable staple on the shelf, my number 2 bottle is a new release. Well, it is new when I'm filming this, and that is the new Ardnamurchan Midgie release. This is their second release, and I'm not sure if it's still in partnership with Smidge, but they've done a fantastic upgrade, working with a brilliant illustrator, Doodle The Dram, to create a fantastic icon to hang around the label and buzz with the marketing. Their first Midgie release is still my current favourite Ardnamurchan, and this one is 50% ex-American bourbon barrels, 48% port barriques and 2% sherry casks. Also a split of 75% unpeated and 25% peated. Bourbon and port barrels and slightly smoky, it just sounds like a winner. And sticking with the kind of new, we are going to the new distillery, which is gaining a lot of love from their first 3 releases. We are talking about Ardnahoe with their Balsa release. Probably pronounced that wrong, but Ardnahoe really are crushing it with their well loved and frankly fantastic inaugural release, which I still regret not grabbing, to Infinity Lock, which is amazing and well priced, and now to this beauty, predominant maturation in Oloroso sherry casks, which is not my usual jam, but when I tried this in Edinburgh, I was super impressed by the mix of fruits, nuts and peppery sweet smoke. You can check out how it compared to other amazing drams in the Edinburgh trip video, which is also to blame for another bottle lower down this list. Speaking of whiskey trips, there has been one bottle that has stayed in my head ever since First Fill and myself took on London for the IWSC Awards and went whiskey shopping. We come to my number 4, the Redbreast 1997 25-year-old cream sherry cask, which is a Whiskey Exchange exclusive, and certainly a mouthful. I did originally aim for this to be done in price order, but the price is certainly taking a jump now, sitting at 520 quid, which I think is pretty understandable why I haven't brought it. It is the best Redbreast by far, a mighty 57.6% ABV, and this was our morning dram, and it's just been in my dreams since. Cookie dough, cake mixture, dark chocolate, and this gritty delight. Better way to start a day than some crunchy nut. The Whiskey Exchange, if you're listening, go on, do like a 90% discount or something, please. From trying that in London, we stay in Big Smoke to a dram enjoyed at the London Whiskey Show, and now to their batch 2 release of the Strathern Single Malt, owned by independent bottlers Douglas Lane. Or are they independent blenders? Either way, they're running this Highland distillery, so you know it'll be good. The batch 2 release has a great focus on bourbon cask influence and less virgin oak, which is a win in my books. Batch 1 was brilliant, and for me this sounds like a great improvement on an already great bottle. It also looks awesome, a stubby little acorn bottle, what more do you want? Got to give a great big shout out to the amazing bottle slappers who support this channel. I've been so lucky to cross so many great drams off my list thanks to their support on Patreon and YouTube memberships. These wonderful folk keep the channel slapping, as well as having their say on future videos and early releases. You can check out Patreon in the links below, but I am grateful just having someone watching these daft videos. Cheers. I think I may have lost count. I think we're up to number 6. It's because it's more than I can do with one hand. But either way, we're going to a distillery I feel I rabbit on about a lot. We are talking Glasgow 1770, but not their new wine releases, but their batch 2 cognac cask finish in the small batch series. I want to say that was like a year ago now. Somehow there's still some bottles available of this brilliant toffee lightly peated delight. I think for me this 6-year-old release is possibly on par with their fantastic 10-year-old that sold out instantly. We are then going to number 7, another new distillery that sits firmly in my favourites. We are talking about Lockley and their cask strength batch 3. Now it was batch 1 on a blind tasting with Aqvavitae which birthed this whole Whiskey Goose thing, and I have loved nearly everything they've put out. The Overtone release was fantastic, the Harvest Edition 3rd crop was my whiskey of the summer, and this 59.8% ABV sounds like a banger. Oloroso and ex-Isla Peter casks, it just sounds fantastic. Again, I say sherry cask is not normally my go-to, but this list says otherwise.
I happen to know you like sherry.
We've got coming in at number 8, a bottle which painfully has been waiting for me to finally buy it for at least 3 years, if not more. I'm talking about the Laphroaig 16-year-old. Now, as my whiskey journey developed, I've become quite the Laf fanboy, and many folk told me that this is the best of the best. A pure representation of the great spirit in its like medicinal punchy form. And this is a bottle that sadly keeps creeping up in price, and I think now it's gone past the £100 mark, and I fear I've missed the boat on this one. Granted, it's not as painful as missing Talisker 18 before those price increases.
Those were the ones that really hurt.
We then jump to number 9. We're staying peated, wildly peated in fact, and that other dram I tried in Edinburgh, possibly my favourite whiskey from the Independent Spirits Festival as a whole, a dram that left me floating out the door onto the tram home. This is the Dramful Jim McEwen Signature Collection, a first filled 11-year-old bourbon barrel, a 63.3% smoke show at 156 ppm. It wasn't brash, it was just bolstered with so much flavour and body and barley, and was just the best.
I think I speak for everyone, including the audience, when I say this constant stream of annoying alliteration is annoying!
At a lofty 332 quid, I was tempted to think this could be the bottle I purchased to celebrate the birth of my second child. Yes, that is why I may sound even more tired than usual. Luckily sunglasses were already my thing. But it is just too steep to justify it, especially as I could see it disappearing quick, as it's the kind of bottle that you'd want to share around. We then finally move to the last bottle on my wish list for today. Number 10 is Glenmorangie Signet. Maybe this is now getting into the terms of nostalgia, and it's all in my head after trying it years back, but it is a bottle I think about often as a dream whiskey. A premium bottle with that premium look. It is enticing, but is now hitting the £200 mark, and I think it was like 120 when I first laid my eyes on this thing. So as it stands, that is my wish list up to date. Of course there are many more that I'm watching and waiting for price drops, but I want to know, what bottles are you looking at? Are you getting new bottles, or are you like many whiskey fans at the moment and just slowing down? If you've enjoyed this, slap a like, subscribe if you're new, as it helps me squeeze pennies out of YouTube. But most importantly, grateful to have you here. All the best and cheers.